What's going on, everyone? Kevin Gallagher here, and I'm currently in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the LEA conference. Being that it was snowing on Monday while I was watching my son play hockey, and now I'm standing here in beautiful 80-degree weather in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I'm just so excited, but I'm even more excited because today we got a Coffee with Kev for you, featuring none other than Paul Kottler. So Paul, I'm coming for you. Let's get this thing going.
You know what time it is. Coffee with Kev.
So here we are, episode 5, Coffee with Kev. I'm sitting with, you know what, I'm not going to introduce you. You're going to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Paul Kottler, Crawford Company GTS, and I'm super stoked to be with Coffee with Kev.
I'm blown away because this is episode 5 and it's had an interesting progression. I set out to do this to humanize the engineering industry, and now it's become sort of industry-wide. And what's been great, and thank you very much, now Sean and you're asking to be on Coffee with Kev.
I think it's important to teach the public about our industry. I mean, how important engineering is to the claims side, the expertise for our corporate accounts. I mean, it's huge.
So, you're working for Crawford GTS. I do want to hear more about that. But what did you want to be when you grew up?
A senator.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. I like politics. I've always been into politics, and I had a mentor back many years ago, like 35, 40, said, "You should be a senator, Kottler." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
Talk about Crawford GTS, because I feel like when people hear about Crawford GTS, they're like, Crawford what?
Yeah. So this is my second run with Crawford. I've been in the business I think this is my 30th year. Started with GAB Robbins back in the day. That's where my formal training.
Shout out to Tim. I told you I'd get him to say something.
Exactly. Can't have any of these without mentioning GAB. The opportunity at Crawford came up 3+ years ago. I was talking to Rowett, our CEO, some of the investors, Jess Crawford, big shout out to Jess. He's an important reason why I'm here. His dad founded the company, and that was one of the big reasons. I've been in private equity for 30 years in this space, and I'm like, it's more about the financials than it is about the service to the clients. And I was ready for a change. And that's where I told Jess and Rowett, Andrew Bard out of London, it's like, I think you guys have a platform. You have thousands of people around the world in the US. And that's what we need to service our account. We talked and and they were kind of in a rut. I'm like, yeah, you can grow this stuff. I mean, I've done it at every firm. It's clients will follow you. And that's kind of how I got back over here.
And I think that's speaking volumes because you guys seem to be attracting a lot of talent in the industry. And whatever you're building, it's very interesting to the outside world, and people are in on it.
One of my key things was I wanted to be a destination for good adjusters and talent. Not just the billing aspect, but like good people.
Yeah.
Like that can all work together. And we've doubled our size. We're up to 250 adjusters in my division. I was talking last night about first got here, the Beirut explosion. I think it was you and I maybe.
Yeah.
And I was using that as, within 30 minutes we had someone in the middle of Beirut.
Wow. If you were to go on vacation, are you a beach or a mountains guy?
I'm a beach guy. That's
Every time?
Yeah. I like the mountains, but the beaches.
Yeah. What is the most beautiful beach you've been to?
So I'm a Hawaii person.
Oh,
and I like all the islands in Hawaii.
So on your LinkedIn, you have your little hashtags, and it says, talks about #teamwork was the first one. Do you have a teamwork philosophy?
I think that's probably the most important thing I'm a sports guy.
Okay.
But business, stocks, friendships.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the basis, the foundation of any good, successful company. But really building teams, that's what I've done for 30 years, and I like it, and it's fun.
Where are you originally from, and where have you gone, and what's your favorite, where have you lived that's your favorite?
So I grew up in Kansas. No offense, Kansas, but I did get out of there. And I do like Kansas.
Right.
I do have clients in Kansas, so
I get it.
That was the shtick. You had to move around, and I was fortunate enough to get job opportunities. Hey, if you want to run this region, that region.
Yeah.
So I've lived in Kansas, Kansas City, Oklahoma, Texas. My favorite was Scottsdale, Arizona.
Is your name in your jacket there?
That is my name in my jacket.
That is one heck of a jacket right there. Come on. You brought up Kansas City and what you were just saying. Kansas City, for those of you who don't know, sleeper city in the U.S.
It is.
The best, I'm about to start a fight. The best barbecue, Kansas City. And I get it, Austin, I get it in Tennessee, but we travel a lot. Kansas City, Burnt Ends Barbecue is just second to none. That is
I would
just
agree.
So good.
I would agree.
I would love for them to do an event, I would love the industry to do an event in Kansas City. Airports need some work, which apparently they're working on, but otherwise, that downtown is amazing.
It's crazy.
And you can walk anywhere within minutes.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Clean.
Go to Kansas City one time.
We should have, I don't know why we have. And the Chiefs are doing well, too.
It might be a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. I'm an Eagles guy.
It is, I know.
I'm an Eagles guy. Are you a Chiefs fan?
I'm a Chiefs fan. I've moved around so much, I'm like, whoever's winning.
So what is the average Crawford GTS claim? What does that look like if you had to boil it down?
So a lot of our accounts could be big real estate accounts, could be public entity accounts, cities, counties, states, and then multinationals. We see a lot of that. Like in the freeze, we have losses from Seattle down to Florida.
Okay.
We manage about 10 to 12 billion in losses a year just in our group. And the freeze right now, I looked at our loss run, it's probably about 2 billion in losses. So that's kind of the stuff that we manage. We use our entire platform of adjusters and different businesses. We have field adjusters, and then you have someone at the top, a senior EGA type that really helps manage all these things going on. We have partners like Forte that are instrumental. Yeah, you have to.
Thank you.
The Big Dig, right? My first work with Forte and Janelle and Tim was on the Big Dig in Seattle.
Yeah.
So we had all the.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Now it's everybody's favorite part of the video. Ask the Asker.
How did you get in this business?
Oh, that's a good question. So some people know this about me, but now everybody's about to. I was in youth ministry, and my full plan was to be in youth ministry. And that was going on for so long. And then my friend, who I'm going to see in London, he lives there. He called me up. He said, "Hey, let's church plant and let's start a church in South Jersey." I was like, "Hey, let's do it, man." And we were in the process of it. We were like 2 months away from launching, and he's like, "I accepted a job back in England," and he's like, "So I got to go back." Long story short is, I graduated college shortly thereafter, and I just remember the door to ministry being closed. So I needed something, and a friend of mine said, Service Master Store needs a front desk person. So shout out to Service Master Cherry Hill. Business development manager came in, dropped his computer, his car keys, and walked out the door. And so they had an emergency management meeting, and the construction manager comes out and is like, "Just let Pete know I'll take the marketing job." Just joking. Next thing I know, the door opens. He's like, "Were you serious about that?" I said, 100% serious. And the next day I'm signing an agreement, and that's how I got into business development in the industry.
How about your ministry work?
Yeah.
Are you able to still?
Yeah, so I actually, I lead, my voice is dead right now, but I lead worship on Sunday mornings at my church.
Right on.
And so I sing and play guitar. Well, Paul Kottler, thank you very much for taking the meeting with me, for taking this coffee with Kev. And I want to wrap it up with, you've got all this time in the industry, 30 years, the guy's got to be old, right? So you've had all this time in the industry. What advice, I always insult everybody because what advice do you have for a young adjuster coming in? What advice do you got?
So I'm a big believer that you can come out of high school. Our industry, almost like Lloyd's, you can move right out of high school into Lloyd's, and there's training. Same thing with our industry, and you can navigate this industry into different things, whether it's engineering, energy, specialty. Take a look at our space specifically because it's technology driven. It seems old school, but it's really progressing fast. Claims is probably progressing faster than other areas within the insurance segment.
Yeah, true.
And then you have the disciplines. If you want to come in and, hey, I want to be an engineer, we have adjusters that are engineers. Sales, marketing, I mean, it's a whole plethora of a career, and you get to see Fort Lauderdale,
Right.
Miami, New York, you get to see the world, London. I think it's a great experience.